So today I'm going to talk about intuition and synchronicities and how to see it through the lens of being journey based. So meaning my intuition is not something inside of me that's necessarily leading me to a thing I want right now or a thing I think I want right now, although it can, right? Your intuition is always telling you whether a person is good for you, is compatible with you. However, sometimes we are led into journeys with people, right? You might think that you're ready to get married today, but the universe sees a path of least resistance where you could learn a lesson or you could learn something about yourself with another person, so that by the time you realize what you need to learn, you're so clear about who you are that you actually are ready for that partner that you want. Or I call it the penguin, your forever penguin. um, so people get disappointed and people get um, disenchanted with life when they feel like their intuition led them into a situation, but the situation doesn't give you the results, right, that the ego wanted. But we are eternal beings, and so we need to look at life as this eternal journey, not as like, oh, I'm going to get the thing now that I want, that I think I want. It's more like, okay, what journey is life giving me so that I can become the divine individual that I am destined to become, the perfected soul. I heard a beautiful interview where the person being interviewed, um, he's a Kabbalah teacher, said something that I swear, I think I've been channeling Kabbalah for years. I just started consciously studying it like a few months ago, or maybe like in March of this year. But part of the reason I created this channel was I was mired in the world of like non-duality and like the absolute self and no self, and just didn't feel right. I was like, no, there's a divine individual, there's the ground of being, and then there's the divine emanation, right? Just like the rose and the lily and the schnauzer and the bobcat, like everything is a divine emanation, a divine individual. And every human is a completely unique individual. And this person said that Nirvikalpa Samadhi is the realization of the absolute, being absorbed in the absolute, right? Almost no differentiation, just being so absorbed in the oneness. And some teachings teach you that that's the end. But actually, you get there, and from that place, you consciously emanate. You are being this emanation, knowing that you are the one. And so Nirvikalpa Samadhi is the realization, the absorption, and the oneness. And Sahaj Samadhi is a higher attainment, which is embodying the divine individual. And intuition is going to take you on a journey to realize that Samadhi, that to realize that divinity, that divine individuality. And I think in large part that's what this whole era is about, and about individuation. I started my journey in spirituality by studying Ayurveda, and I was just the concept that, oh, everybody has their own constitution, and so everybody doesn't need to eat the same way, right? I think it's all dawning on us like how unique and individual we are. So your intuition is going to take you on a journey to clarify your individuality. So you might very well be led into a business deal or into a business scenario that you might be, once you get in it, it might be like, wait, what am I doing here? I don't feel, this isn't me. And by the way, there's a difference between going outside your comfort zone and letting life up level you. In my experience, life does that anyway. It's not like you need to go looking for those things. Like, that's going to happen anyway. You're going to be stretched in life, and being comfortable with the unknown, essentially making the uncomfortable comfortable, is huge flex. It's a huge skill, because essentially what that really means in a nutshell is that you're not afraid of death. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of death. I don't need to stay safe and secure. I am in love with the unknown. And one of my favorite quotes is, "May you be more in love with the unknown than with the known." But that being said, we also don't need to go against our nature and do things that we really don't want to do, right? Like, and so an example is, okay, your intuition leads you into a business. Now you're in the business and you're realizing, wow, the contrast is teaching you something. Like, well, I do like these things. I do like the way they collaborate. I do like the way they communicate. I like the supportive feeling, but I don't like the way they do marketing. It just feels so anti-me. It doesn't feel like me at all. And so because I'm not a results-oriented person, I am a journey to my unique self-oriented person. I'm going to say, okay, maybe in this moment I was led into it. I saw the contrast. I learned from the contrast. And now I'm going to speak up and say, this isn't for me. And by the way, my prime gift in human design and in the gene keys, it's a double thing. It occurs twice in my chart. It's called Gene Key 49, which is altruism. But it's called the butcher. Like, I know, and I talk a lot about on this channel, when to cut things out of your life. If you need help cutting things out of your life, call me. I'm a butcher. In the best way. But I know when you're holding on to something, like, if you just let it go, your business will triple, your happiness will triple, your health will triple. And I've learned the hard way that when I do the opposite, all of those things tank in my life. When I hold on to things that I need to let go of, health down the drain, money down the drain. As soon as I let it go, skyrocket, right? Because I've learned self-respect, and I've talked about this in other videos. So you might be asked, you might be led for one reason. But if you're not a results-oriented person, but you're a who am I becoming oriented person, who am I becoming in this situation? Okay, I'm learning to say with respect and with all care and appreciation, oh, this is not for me. Maybe you're led into the same situation as me and you feel the need to go deeper with it, right? But people get like, because people are object oriented or results oriented, they're like, damn it, I didn't get what I want. This isn't going to be the moneymaker. Let me tell you something. You can make money and create the life you want without selling your soul, without doing things that feel fundamentally unnatural to you, because the reason why it doesn't feel natural is because the universe isn't giving you any energy to go in that direction, right? If you feel like, the analogy is like trying to have sex with like a limp. It's not going to happen, right? That's what people try to do in life. They try to do that. They try to make something that's limp. They try to pretend like it's not limp, and they try to move forward with it anyway, and it's just not happening. Don't be afraid. You were led into it for the contrast. Learn from the contrast. Who did you become? How are you handling the exit? How are you speaking? Are you respectful? Are you kind? Are you appreciative for the experience? And are you respecting everybody involved? That's the real thing. Who am I being? Right? Sometimes, you might be, and in my life, this has happened to me 3 times. You might be in a relationship that you are so balls deep lost and mired in a sticky situation that the universe might send you a friend to say, hey, this friend might be a stranger. It might be someone you feel like having a session with. It might even feel like someone you feel a little romantically attracted to. And it's like, wait, I'm in a relationship. I don't want to be disloyal to the person I'm with. I'll just give you a concrete example. I was married for 10 years, and I was with a man who literally cheated on me probably 100 times. And I was so naive. And I was also in a form of spiritual ego that's being a doormat and being blind and just loving anyway and being understanding. And I've explained in another video, sometimes the answer is not to try to understand deeper or to have more empathy. Sometimes the fucking answer is walk away. Walk away and face all the fears that you're going to face when you walk away, which is uncertainty, what's going to happen to my life, all the things that you don't, that are out of your control, that you're afraid of facing. And the way that I started, I already knew that it was over mentally with my ex, but somebody else, another man, came into my life who I didn't seek out as a romantic partner, but who I sought out for guidance. I had a session with this person, and he opened my eyes to what I was in. And I was like, oh, wow, like, this person coming into my life, like, shed some light into my life. My intuition got stronger. A lot of things got revealed. And then, like, the really hard karmic things started coming up, and I had this, like, desire to stay connected to this other person before I officially got divorced. And by the way, I'm extremely loyal. I'm extremely traditional. Like, for the 10 years I was with my husband, I never had a thought of another man. But my intuition said, talk to this man. Talk more to him. Talk to him as much as you possibly can. He helped me realize that I was literally, like, this deep in denial, in all kinds of trouble. All kinds of trouble. And my ego and my morals and was saying, don't do it. But my intuition said, go get to know this person. Just do it. Go get to know him. And thank God I did. And so sometimes you're led into things that make you uncomfortable, that your ego doesn't like, or that might feel uncomfortable to you. But there's this nagging feeling like you have to go there because the universe is saying, if you go in that direction, you will get closer to who you're meant to be. And that person, right, the ego wants the person, or at least my ego wanted that person to be it. My husband, my forever person, my penguin. And it didn't work out that way. But I'm not going to look back on my life and say, oh, that was a waste of time. Oh, I'm this age and I don't have kids. And why did it happen like this? I'm just grateful that he was almost like a bridge out of a big karmic disaster that I was in. And because the universe loves me and my intuition was right on. And we can't let our ego be results oriented and say, oh God, but why didn't it give me this result? Honey, it gave you a result. It moved you a quantum leap out of where you were. Be grateful. Be grateful. People lose touch with this. Like, be so grateful for the bridges that come into your life to take you to the next level of yourself. And me loving that person brought me to even more epic levels of myself. And I've learned not to be a results-oriented person and say, you know what it did really help me do is clarify who I am. You don't have to get clear about what you want. You don't have to know what you want. Okay, that's all. Sometimes you do know what you want. Like, I do know what kind of house I want. I know where I want to live location-wise. I know a lot of specific things about my life. But more importantly, I know who I am. I know what's really important to me. I feel a clarity of self, of individual self, and I am loyal to that. I am loyal to that, and so I must attract something compatible, something loyal. Loyal to myself, I attract loyalty. Real with myself, I attract someone who's real with me. We attract what we do to ourselves, right? But our intuition is going to lead us on a journey to clarity of my individual self. And by the time you are crystallized, and it's always evolving, you're crystallized into that beautiful divine self. Of course, the profession, the partner, the friends that you attract will simply be a reflection of that clarity. And everything that happened in the meantime was the process of carving out the clarity, and be grateful for it. So I don't know who needed to hear this today. It was a very loud message that wanted to be said. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful day.